Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and you're watching the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short, your daily dose of geek news, product views, and answers that you can use. Like an answer to the question, when is Chris going to be doing a meetup in San Francisco? Well, and the answer to that question would be possibly on the 19th. In about a week's time, I was invited to participate with an event happening in and around GDC, the Game Developers Conference happening in San Francisco, and I'm going to be down there with Diana. It'll be Diana's first time in SF. I used to live there for a couple of years when I was working at Tech TV, and I've been back a few times since then, but I don't know if I've done a meetup lately. Certainly not in San Francisco. So we may be able to meet face to face. And if not then hopefully we'll see you at VloggerFair in Seattle, August 16th later this year. Tons of people are going to be coming, most of them younger females, which may not be bad. You know, if you're a younger female, or you have no problem with younger females. I myself am not young, but I have a younger female as a wife, Diana. She will be about ready to pop with her pregnancy around VloggerFair. We'll just have another VloggerFair attendee, or in her, womb still. We don't know how Diana's going to be then, but she plans on coming to VloggerFair too. Hey, everybody! I've had a busy day, if you didn't already know. Oh, my screensaver kicked in, didn't it? Give me a second. I've got to do this and log in. I've been doing the whole password kicking in with screensaver thing on a lot of my computers lately. Not because I'm concerned about security. It's a nice habit to get into. Moreover, when I travel with my notebook, obviously this is not my notebook computer. Well, if it's not obvious, this isn't connected to a notebook computer. I just have to be a lot more conscious of leaving things wide open for people to walk into, even if it's just me sitting at the desk here. It's just a nice habit to get into. I keep the password difficult yet easy for me, and I don't think anybody is ever really going to try to access my computer here. At least I would hope not directly. I don't bring a lot of people into the house. Though I am planning on doing something again with Barnacules Nerdgasm. Stay tuned for that information with relation to a live stream whenever we can get together again. I've been a bit crazy, though, as you can imagine. Let me go ahead and thank the 479 patrons today. 479. We grew by 2 patrons over the past day. Thank you very much. I would not be able to do this every day if it weren't for these 479 people who value what I do greater than the cup of their favorite beverage once a month. Thank you for that support. Let me go ahead and run through the slideshow. By the way, this is a Google Drive template that I use. It's very Star Trek themed. Hello, geek. Shouldn't come to a surprise to anybody. You could use the same theme in your own Google Drive, and I do have Google Drive information coming up in today's report as well. The LockerGnome shop is still open for business, and I just want to let you know that you can have a life-sized cardboard cutout, in your home of Bernadette if you want to, because we are selling that, amongst other things, on the website. It's really, I guess, the future direction for me, because, you guys trust me for information and my opinions. That's why I'm doing the LockerGnome Daily Report. But beyond that, some people want to know, how to live the geek lifestyle. And I'm doing it anyway, so I figured, hey, might as well just, close that gap and actually start clothing you if you want to be clothed. I don't know, maybe you want to run around naked. It's up to you. We have the Pirillo promise intact on shop.lockergnome.com. In the news today, probably the biggest bit of news, I would say, above all, and I wanted to let you know, it's in relation to Amazon changing their Prime pricing. They went from $79 a year in the US to $99 a year in the US. It's different for those in the UK. In fact, patron George Barrett had mentioned that in the UK it went from £79 to, they moved it to £79, which is roughly $130 US. That's an even greater leap. So I have a Prime account, have had one since the beginning, and I look at Prime carefully. I don't use the Amazon Prime subscription to stream stuff, even though I can. That's a part of the value of an Amazon Prime account. I don't have Amazon free time because I don't have kids. I take advantage of Prime, but for its shipping more than anything else. You get free 2-day shipping on 500,000 products. I save so much money with that. And it's not even a problem. I don't even blink. I look for Prime all the time. Bam, bam, bam. I'll order that stuff because it's free shipping, 2-day shipping with Prime. That's the reason I love it. So I think I probably save over $200 a year with an Amazon Prime membership. forget the media side of things, because I don't use the media side all that much at this point. They don't really have that different of an offering compared to Hulu Plus or Netflix. By the way, huluplus.com/Chris is how you can get a free 2-week trial compared to their normal 1-week trial. There's a little bonus for you. So they moved it to $99 over $79, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm still saving more than $99 a year. Okay, they moved up the price. My value is greater than $99, which means I'm not impacted. Now, if Amazon said, all right, we're going to change the Prime subscription to $400, I'd be going, well, let me do some calculations. How much money did I save last year? Did I save $400? If I did, well, then it may be safe to assume that I would save just as much this year if everything goes according to plan or, on average. I don't think Prime's ever going to be valued at $400 a year. The point I'm trying to make is, the value of Prime may not have changed for you, but you have to consider what value it delivers. And you may be upset because, it's $20 more out of your pocket. But, dude, if you were saving $200 a year in shipping costs, or even $100 a year, you've broken even and got all those bonuses. So maybe they'll add more. There's a suggestion that they'll add a streaming music service with Prime subscriptions. That's kind of interesting, but I'm already using Spotify and Pandora and iTunes Radio, so it's not a big deal. Still, I am not as upset about this as other people seem to be, but I use Prime differently than they do. If it's not worth $99 to you, no, you shouldn't pay. But to me, it's absolutely worth that. If Amazon doubles it, it'd probably still be worth it. Don't tell Amazon that. I do not want to see my Prime subscription go up to $200. Boy, that would be nutty. So what do you guys think? Are you as upset about this as I see other people are upset about this? And everyone's got a reason. I'm not sitting here saying, hey, the value to you should be exactly the same as to me. It isn't at all. I'm just saying you got to consider where you value that subscription. Okay, just like the Patreon model, right? Am I worth $2 a month to you? Well, geez, I would hope. Well, some people are actually, saying, yes, Chris, here's $2 a month. That's awesome. Thank you for that. Some people are providing more than that, and of course, I'm providing more for them in return. The idea, though, that moving from $79 to $99 is a catastrophe. If you've saved more than that in the Prime shipping process, just do the math, people. You're still saving money. Sometimes you got to spend money to save money. And trust me, I'm not defending Amazon, and I'd be happy keeping it at $79, but I understand it's the cost of doing business. Shipping costs have gone up. People are using more of it. So let me just do this to be fair and balanced, to borrow that phrase. I ordered this on Amazon the other day. They had it 50% off. I usually only buy Lego sets when they're on sale, because they do go on sale, and I usually tweet about them or post about them. So if you want to save money on Lego products, just keep an eye on my social feeds. I'll absolutely let you know when I buy something, especially if it's on a very steep discount. 50% off. It was like down from 12 to 5 or $4. I'm like, yeah, for sure. So I was not expecting to open this box, but then Amazon shipped it to me like this. Really? Okay, bad idea, Amazon, to send collectibles or potential collectibles the way you did. I don't know if I'm going to be demanding a refund for it. It was like only $5. Not really a big deal, and I don't really want to go through the hassle of sending it back and having them send a new one in box. It's a small set, not really a huge deal, but Amazon doesn't always nail their shipping. So there's a tip of the hat, wag of the finger. Boy, I'm just borrowing sayings from all sorts of people today and entities. So Amazon, shame on you. I'm going to have to put that Lego set together. Oh, I know. Crimea River, first world problems. And by the way, while I'm on the subject, I am not a fan of that phrase, first world problems. I can say that about myself, but I don't like it when people say that about me or something about me, because obviously I live in the first world. I'm going to have first world problems. Yes, Chris, because it's gone up 140 from 89. Well, it depends. If you're saving money over that period of time. Now, if you were only using it for streaming media services, I could understand you might be upset. Netflix pulled the same thing. Some people got upset. Some people quit altogether. I, was upset, but I stuck with it. It depends on the value. I'll spend $200 to save $400 any day of the week. I'll spend $400 to save $800 any day. I'll spend $400 to save $100. Because if I can save money by spending money, you're coming out ahead. It's math, and I am not a math whiz, folks. It's math. And speaking of math, I also have to thank our sponsor. If you didn't catch the news, on Friday, we're going to be doing a live 30-minute GoToMeeting with one of you out there if you participate, if you ever wanted to do a GoToMeeting with me face-to-face, with Citrix, because this broadcast, much like that broadcast, was going to be brought to you by GoToMeeting with HD Faces by Citrix, the powerfully simple way to meet online. You can share the same screen and see each other in HD video conferencing. Start hosting a GoToMeeting in seconds from your computer or mobile device by signing up for a free 30-day trial. Visit GoToMeeting.com, click on the Try It Free button, and use the promo code Pirillo. That's the spelling of my last name. Okay, a product view. Are you ready for that? Let me just preface it with this little note. It's translucent. Can you see? You can see the words, but can you read what those words say? Oh, you can. Cool. Wait, or is it just mirrored on my side? Maybe. Okay, I can see it. You can't. It's backwards for you. 100,000 subscribers. That's more than double the size of a packed Roman Coliseum and more than 10 times the number of people who set the human domino world record. We understand the dedication and talent it takes to reach 100,000 YouTube viewers. No, subscribers. I have in my hands the silver button, the silver YouTube play button. Congratulations for surpassing, can I try that again? I can't even read. For surpassing, that would be passing up, 100,000 subscribers. It's been a while since we passed that number. Years, actually, so better late than never. We're on our way to 1 million, which we may hit in the other YouTube channel. It may take the rest of my life to get there, but I think we can do it with other people's help because you're already subscribed. This is for the LockerGnome YouTube channel, the other one, the classic one, which is now Chris Pirillo, thanks to the Google Plus crossover. This channel, LockerGnome's Geek Lifestyles, it's Geek Lifestyles is the username, is a little over 10,000 subscribers right now. Thanks for the support there. We can get another YouTube silver play button if we reach 100,000 subscribers. So thanks again for remembering to like, comment, share, subscribe, and watch more of our videos right now. And of course, let your friends know that you're a proud subscriber. I didn't do this. You did this. Thank you. You contributed to me having this button that doesn't really play, but it came in a very nice frame. I'll be hanging it up somewhere. It's really about the only award I've received in recent years as I throw it onto the floor. Didn't mean to do that. You done with doing laundry, Mom? Okay. I turned it off because I forgot you had Thank you. Yeah, Mom was doing laundry at the beginning of this broadcast, just so you know. She's visiting. I do not live with my parents. Right now, they're living with me. They're staying with me at this point. And my brother Adam is safe at home in Iowa and looking after things there. So we're very happy about that. Happy to have Mom and Dad here. They'll also be, Mom and Dad, not joining Diana and I in San Francisco, but they will be staying here watching Wicket and Pixie. And I haven't explained how he scaled the baby gate, because I haven't figured out how he did it when we were gone yesterday. Crazy little critter, that dog nutcase. Europe is embracing a common charger rule to end mobile compatibility nightmares. And I thought even for years this had already been in place with the micro USB standard, and I really appreciated that. However, I wonder how this is going to play for Nokia or entities like Apple. I really enjoy the Lightning adapter, if only because as I lose my voice again. I love Lightning over micro USB for one reason and one reason alone. This. You can turn it either way. You don't have to try to slide it into the port a certain direction. It just always plugs in. It always works. It's very lean, mean, clean, efficient. I don't think Europe is going to have or force Apple to open up beyond what Apple's done with the Lightning adapter, but I would like to see more cable connections exist like the Lightning adapter. Not just because it's Apple and that's why Chris likes it. No, it's because it works and it's efficient. And I'm tired of wasting my life, and I've wasted probably minutes, going with a micro USB cable. Here, let me pull one out for an example. Is that one? There we go. I have tons of micro USB cables. You ever try to stick it into a port and it doesn't work, so you have to flip it around and stick it in this way. It drives me nuts. I love my Mophie Space Pack on my phone, which has doubled the battery life, but the problem is they use micro USB as the connector, not the Lightning adapter. And I'm like, man, that's just frustrating because I will find myself flip up, flip down, flip up, flip down. Micro USB is great because a lot of devices are using it, but it also sucks because it's not reversible, and you just don't realize how much it sucks until you've tried an adapter that is reversible. So good on you, Apple, for that. Good on Europe for making a standard or enforcing it. I don't have an issue with this as much as Apple might, or maybe even Nokia. So in other pricing news, I mentioned in the beginning of this broadcast that Google and Google Drive had some announcement today. You could buy more storage for Google. In fact, I did. I locked in a rate of, what was it? $20. For $20 a year, I get 80 gigabytes. And that was a plan that, you know, they've sunset. And I was glad that I had it at the time, because up until today, pricing was a little unreasonable for me. I wasn't very happy. Did I say that right? Unreasonable for me. I think my blood sugar's low. I didn't eat lunch, Mom. I know you said you could make me a sandwich. I passed on it, but thank you for the eggs this morning. I appreciate it. So I had a pretty good rate, pretty good value, and I don't use Google Drive that much other than for editing documents, and I've said this a billion times over the past week. Okay, that's exaggerating. I've said it at least 1,000 times. That's probably more appropriate. So you guys should have a drinking game at home. Every time Chris says he uses Google Drive and Google Docs, take a drink. You guys would be blitzed by the end of halfway through the broadcast, I'm sure. So they're changing their pricing options for Google Drive, which is very competitive now. I think well within the range of affordability. $1.99 a month for 100 gigs, so that adds up, you know, over time. Certainly, I'm still not at the point where I would move to the new plan. I haven't even hit the ceiling of 80 gigs for $20 a year, and I don't want to move to $24 a year and get a little more storage, even though you know, it's a good rate for most people. I'm already at a good rate, and I haven't hit that ceiling yet. So that's $1.99 a month for 100 gigs instead of the previous price of $4.99 a month. So you could be saving massive money. Check into the, bless you, Mom. Check into the storage options. I'm telling you, today's pollen count is abnormally high. Diana and I were stuffed up this morning, and then I looked at the pollen count. I'm like, yeah, it's off the charts, or pretty close to it as far as my nose is concerned. Google also changed the 1 terabyte option from $49 a month to only $9.88 a month. So they've adjusted their online storage. If you want a terabyte of Google storage that you could use for pretty much anything in Google Drive, $9.88 is all. That's very reasonable, especially compared to like a service like Dropbox. Now, Google Drive is not an all-out Dropbox replacement, I would say, but this is far more reasonable of a rate to put out there for average consumers. Pretty decent. Really decent, actually. Very, very happy seeing that, you would be spending less money on the same amount of storage. I would expect that the value may increase, and its value may stay the same, the online storage, but I think pricing will decrease to the point where as far as I'm concerned, $2 a month is free. Okay, not exactly. Obviously, it's $2 a month. But, in terms of what you use it for, or having it there for backup and what have you, I think it's absolutely one of those perfect price points just to at least get you guys going with it. So there you go. $1.99 now for 100 gigs, $9.88 for 1 terabyte. And then they have other plans as well, but those are probably going to be the 2 most popular plans. By the way, the links for all the stuff that I'm talking about, they're in this video's description if you haven't figured that out already. Speaking of Google, if you are K through 12, in one of those grades, you can submit a Google Doodle within the next week. You only have a week to do it. And the recipient, whoever gets the Google Doodle that will be used on Google, will get a college scholarship, I think worth $20,000 plus. Insane. So if you're in high school or kindergarten through high school, I should say, consider that. And I know we have some people in that age range. Consider submitting a Google Doodle. It may have just paid for your college education if that was something of interest to you. One of the things that we posted on LockerGnome over the past day, and we're talking to LockerGnome.com. Don't know if you guys swing by on a regular basis, if you subscribe to any of our feeds or what have you. It is a Vino to go tumbler for the wino on the move. This is a tumbler that inside it looks like there's a wine glass. So you can put, wine in a tumbler and still drink out of something that looks like a wine glass. That's kind of fun. Put your unboxing juice in there. I love finding that stuff, though. How's that for a product view? I thought it was unique. I didn't even know that existed until don't ask me how I stumbled across it because I couldn't even tell you. Another product view, something that I have not yet put together, still in the wrapper. Chris McVeigh makes custom Lego sets that you can assemble. And this one's titled My First Game Console Sprite Edition. And I'm going to be putting it together. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a separate video on it, but I just got it today. Very, very happy about this. It's going to look like the classic NES, which I played on at home. I loved the Nintendo. The Nintendo. I know Nintendo's had a few game consoles, but this was one of my favorites. It's really the only Nintendo console that I ever had. No. I had the GameCube. Never really used it, though. Did have a Wii, I guess, and I never really used it. But the Nintendo, the NES, the original, I absolutely did. Not an official Lego set, yet something that you can assemble. Thank you, Chris McVeigh, for making this set possible. I did pay for these bricks with my own money, so he did not send this to me, but I do have to give credit where credit is due. Thank you for that. Now, speaking of growing up, I still haven't done that. However, March Madness is upon us. Well, I'm not talking about basketball. I'm talking about Star Wars March Madness. So the idea is that you can vote for your favorite Star Wars character. They're going to pit, one character against the other, like Bosk and Greedo or IG-88 and Dengar. And, you can move them through the ranks and have madness with Star Wars characters. So This Is Madness is now upon us. And I'm much more interested in that than I am sports, period. From Daniel Varzea, he sent me a link to this news story. A motorbike accident victim had facial reconstruction thanks to 3D printed parts. You want to talk about health and tech and the future of where those things cross over and the value of 3D printing. Think about that. A prosthetic, it may be, produced and it's just this one part that's produced for everybody, but imagine knowing exactly what you would need shaped and being able to mill it, being able to create it from a 3D printing within hours. Super high resolution, super high quality, fashioned material, carbon fibers, super, super strong, and be customized for you. And we're going to see 3D printing transform so many industries. And I rib Barnacules when I say, what's the use of 3D printing? I mean, it's fun for things like this that Jerry made for me. That's his name, Jerry. Barnacules Nerdgasm. He made this for me, fashioned it, printed it, extruded it, however you want to say it, and I love it. I love this. But the same type of technology can transform lives. This is not transforming lives. But 3D printing is, I think, just amazing in terms of what you think and how you think it plays a role that we're just beginning to see. Being able to 3D print at some point organ replacements. That's just astounding. If you think about, you may have been in the position where you have, something in your body fail and you can't wait for a donor, you may die. Imagine, and I think it's well within the realm of possibility, potentially in my lifetime, 3D printing on a mass scale, being able to 3D print a new heart, a new lung, a new pancreas. We're talking not just about the end of disease, but the end of these plagues which have held us back. Health is a big, big issue, huge issue. And you want to talk about where technology impacts? I get so excited. I get more excited about talking about the future direction of technology in relation to the human condition more than I love talking about the latest devices. That's where my interest in technology has always been. I just love thinking and seeing the impact. He had his face reconstructed thanks to 3D printing. It's unfathomable. I mean, it's so exciting to hear that is happening now. And you may not need it. You may not think about it now, but the moment you need it, this is the moment you wish it was there. No doubt about that. I wanted to, show you that story. Yeah, go ahead and if you want, look at the link. You can see I didn't want to show it because I don't have credit or the ability to show the photo because I don't own the rights to it. But it made a dramatic difference between what his face was before and then, of course, after it. Huawei, and I believe that's how you say it, Huawei, is set to release a dual OS phone in the US within the year 2014. Windows Phone dual boot with an Android, Windows Phone, whatever version they're on, with Android, whatever version they're on, or whatever Huawei decides to do if they customize either one of the platforms or they just make them as is on the same phone. Dual booting. I think I'm not going to say it's a gimmick, but to me it just seems they're doing it because they can, not because people are wanting it. I mean, maybe they do want it, but it is a value. I mean, there's not a lot of dual booting devices for consumers right now, if there are any, period, end of story. But, I don't want to call it a gimmick, but are you really going to buy that device? Why? Because you can dual boot. Okay, cool. Well, I would buy it if I was just an Android user and wanted to live within the world of Android. I probably wouldn't want to buy another device. But if that device I could dual boot easily, cleanly, within licensing constraints, dual boot to Windows Phone, I'd consider it, because then I got to play with another operating system on the same computer. And that's to me, that's where the value lies. And I don't want to say that they're hedging their bets, but it's a curious play, and I don't know how well it's going to work beyond geeks, really. Which, hey, know your audience. If that's who their audience is, I think geeks would be interested, but the average person, no. I think the average person is happy if their phone works, period. But it's still something that I thought I would mention. I haven't seen it yet. Maybe get my hands on it. I have no idea. Now, speaking of mobile operating systems, before I move on to another product view, I wanted to express my frustration with Passbook. I love Passbook on iOS, but where are the developers? No one's developing for Passbook. I think Apple's going to have to acquire other app services. I use one service with I basically tie all my affinity cards into it. It's a free app. It is cross-platform as well, called Keyring. Google Wallet would work kind of in the same way, although I haven't ported all my cards over to Google Wallet. I like Keyring. It's easy, it's effective, it works. It's not tied into one platform or another, or a bigger vendor like Google. I think that if Passbook's going to succeed, Apple's going to have to need to change their game, and I think it is going to involve an acquisition. Because Passbook, dude, just put a knife in it, or what? Like, what Apple's done as much as they can. I just don't think developers are getting it. I'm telling you, demand would absolutely be there. I use it all the time if I'm going to, let's see here. Not all the time. I guess I only use it at one store, because that's the only store that supports it that I use. Passbook, really? Come on, people. What do you think? Yay, nay? Am I the only one who wants to use Passbook out there? It's there. It's free. It's built in. Microsoft and Barnes & Noble have agreed to halt development of the Nook app for Windows. We're likely going to see Microsoft creating their own ebook app for the Windows platform. But there's another thing that you just kind of wonder when it's going to die. Sorry, all you Nook users, all 5 of you, but it seems that race has been won. There's a chance that you might be able to play catch up, but yeah, it looks like someone else's mustard is a bit more flavorful. That analogy didn't really pan out like I expected it to. Okay, so I've got a few more product views before I float on out of here. Not physically, virtually. I was sent by Ventev the PowerCell 6000. It's a dual USB portable battery charger and wall charger. This is just a placard they passed along. The PowerDash R900 portable battery charge and a rapid car charger. So what this can do is basically charge devices like the iPad, which is very, very valuable. And the products. You thought I just had the placards? No. There's that charger I was just showing you before. Has a micro USB input as well. Let's see here. One port for micro USB, the other port standard USB connection, or one other standard USB connection. There's the wall charger. Kind of nice. It is black, which I like black and gray and silver objects. I would appreciate it since my plates in the house are white. I would have appreciated a white brick over a black brick, but hey, I can't complain. Thank you for passing them along. Charge sync cable, tangle-free micro USB cable. I like the fact that it's blue because that'll keep it visually separated from the 30-pin cable that is also tangle-free. Charge sync. This is all from Ventev. They sent me quite a case of stuff. The dash port, dual output universal charger. Wait a minute. This has got a rapid charge too? So these two things, battery plus car charger. Oh, it's portable, so you can remove this. So you can use it in your car to charge up and then remove it. And then plug it in when you get back in. Oh, that's nice. Now I figured it out. The dual port you just, I think, keep plugged in. Dual output, charges 2 devices at once. Illuminated USB ports, very, very nice for use in the car. Bah, jeez. It just doesn't end. They've got a licensed, because it says made for iPhone and iPad, licensed lightning connector. This one's orange, color-coded for convenience. And a smaller wall port universal charger. So it just plugs into a wall port there. And this one, dual USB, any 2 devices. So it's quite nice to have all these cables and connectors and everything. Haven't had a chance to use them yet, but you may see them floating around in vlogs, and oh, look at this. Compliments of Ventev. I got a USB drive. I wonder how big this is. I never buy USB drives anymore. I get them. They're like a dime a dozen. Maybe 2 gigs, maybe 4 gigs. Let's keep our fingers crossed for that, hopefully. All right, maybe 1 or 2 other bits of news as I look at the live comments here. Good comments coming in. No real questions, but that's okay because tomorrow is Friday, and we do our live AMA. I'll be stacking that for patrons. Patrons can ask questions, everybody can ask questions, but patrons get their $5 patrons on up get their questions answered with priority versus everybody else that you go to the bottom of the stack. And you may have good questions, no doubt about it, but you may not have the that ability outright to ask the questions. You can ask questions. Wait, you have the ability to. God, I'm confusing myself. Everybody can ask questions. Patrons get priority, period. Okay, Chris, shut up. 2 other things I should cover before leaving today, and I'll save the other bits of news for tomorrow's broadcast, Monday's broadcast now. They're not exactly timely. Microsoft's Office 365 Personal has been announced. You can now get Microsoft Office 365 for only $69.99 a year, or $6.99 a month, compared to $10 a month or $99 a year. You would get Office 365 on one computer and then one tablet, which makes you kind of wonder, okay, is Office really finally coming to the iPad? I would hope sooner rather than later for Microsoft's sake. So Microsoft is lowering price for Office 365, making it a bit more palatable for most users out there who don't have a zillion devices around them. The only thing I probably should say now at the end of the broadcast is that LeBron James's Samsung device failed him and Samsung sprang into action. So if you want amazing technical support from Samsung, all you need to do is be a basketball star. Maybe I have basketball stars in the community. I don't know if I do or not. That's the news that I saw fit to use. Thank you. Oh, Chris, mention iOS 7 update, which kills the battery life. That's why I went back to my Windows Phone 8. Why did they do that? Well, Heath, I had the same issue with and thank you for bringing this up. I'll mention it briefly. I was having pretty big issues, bad issues with my battery life on iOS 7.1. I went through and I killed background services and certain background apps. My problem solved. So you may want to go into settings and then, let's see if I can find it again, privacy, and then location services, turn that off. Or in background app refresh, turn off apps that you're not using on a regular basis. And that may very well, look, dark sky, I'm not using, so I'm turning that off. Flickr, I'm not using regularly. Foursquare, not enough. Let's see here, Google, I use regularly enough. Google Plus, all this. Groupon, not so much. IFTTT, sometimes nice weather. I should turn on that site. I'm not using that site. I'm not using site. Sorry, not site. Services. Turn off all these services if you're not using them in the background, and that could save you a ton of battery life. So check out your background app refreshes, and that may solve the problem. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for yet another live broadcast of the LockerGnome Daily Report. Thanks again to all the patrons. With any luck, we'll be at 500 really soon. You have the power to control that number, not me. Thank you for your support. When we hit 500, I will be doing a What's on My iOS device, which I know I should probably record this weekend. It's just that I've been a little busy traveling and doing other things. So stay tuned for that. Thanks again for our sponsors, our supporters like you. Thanks again for remembering to like, comment, share, subscribe, watch even more of our videos right now. And at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. We'll you later.